Welcome to the M Factor Live, a space where art of movement meets wisdom of the heart. My name is Emme, and I am welcoming you today to another episode of Daily Yoga Teachings. I teach next level yoga, and the next level of yoga is a understanding that yoga is not just postures on the mat. And while this is how most of us start our yoga journey, I hope that I can inspire you to dive a little bit deeper. So the next level of yoga is to awaken and to start to be aware of what is going on within us, of how to create a practice, a yoga practice that is personal. And that's exactly what this whole class today is going to be about. So if you think about how most people learn yoga, traditionally in our time, in our culture, we go to a yoga class. And we are in a group with a lot of people. And the beautiful thing about this is that we're not alone. We feel there's a group, a community of people who share energy with each other. There's a teacher who guides us, and that's how most people get their first encounter with yoga. So now, if I think about all the years that I have taught yoga, and the things that I have seen is that people don't practice regularly enough. And maybe you are one of those people. Sometimes we can't make it to class. There are times and seasons and situations in our life where we just can't make it to class. And then the yoga practice is the one thing that falls by the wayside. And I am here to hopefully change that and to help you understand that despite the fact that we love to go to our yoga practice, and I know many of you are right now missing the time that you spend in this community with other yogis, but how wonderful would it be if we could create a personal yoga practice at home? Something that you always have, something that is not dependent on any class, something that is not dependent on a teacher guiding you and bringing input to you, something that is personal. So how do we get from going to yoga classes and really feeling good in the class? And most of the time, I believe, there are two scenarios that happen. We either feel great after class because it's kind of like exactly what we needed in that moment, or we feel really miserable because we couldn't do most of these exercises. We felt we didn't know what we were doing. And I think a lot of people go to class and walk home and think, I can't do this. This is not for me. And that is not the right thought, of course. Yeah? You might have been in a class that was not right for you in that moment in time. And it wasn't right because it wasn't personal. And this class didn't know anything about who you are, about your history, about your injuries, about where you are emotionally and mentally in this moment in time. It just didn't know it. So it was a random class that just didn't fit you. So how could we learn yoga from a place that, yes, we go to classes when we can, but we roll our mat at home every single day and we practice our personal practice? Think about it. The benefit of yoga, and that what all of us are looking for right now in these days where we are probably at home, hopefully you are at home and you don't have to be on the forefront. If you are here and you can take the time to learn, how wonderful would it be if we weren't dependent on somebody else giving us input, if we knew our body well enough to know this is what I need today, and this is right for me, and this is actually wrong for me today. Yeah? But the thing is that we need to learn this. This doesn't just fall to us and it's just given. No, we learn this. So how can we make our practice personal? How can we create a home practice? Number one is, of course, you need to have a little bit of time. And I understand this. The one answer that I always get is, I don't have time when I talk with people. And we all know that that is absolutely not true, right? We do have time. We just don't choose to spend it on our mat. Yeah? We have time. We make time for the things that are important to us. We all know this. And I think saying, I don't have time to do this at home, or I don't have time to practice every day, it's just it's an excuse. It's a story that our mind can tell us so that we can feel good about not practicing, right? Because if we don't practice, we don't feel good about it. So the real question is, why don't we make time? That's the real question. And to ask this to yourself with a little bit of introspection and just going inward, that's yoga. That is yoga. That is yoga beyond the mat. So maybe your yoga practice tomorrow is to just sit down on your mat and ask yourself, why don't I make time for this? And then you might discover new answers. You might find an answer that says, but I don't know what to do. That's another answer that I get when I talk to yoginis and ask them, do you have a home practice? I don't know what to do. And so the question is, you're going to yoga classes and you're practicing for maybe a year or two, but we don't know what to do at home. So something is not aligned there. Yeah, we're not learning. We are not getting the confidence to say, hey, I am taking this and I'm allowing this to change my life, because that's what yoga is for me. It can change my life. And the first step is to make this personal, a daily practice, preferably. I am not saying that you have to spend an hour or 2 or 3 per day, but I am saying, do you take time each day for yourself? And our yoga practice is exactly that. And this can be 5 minutes, and this can be 15 minutes. And I promise you, you have that time. You're just not making it for reasons that you need to find out why not. This is where it all starts, yeah? I think it's time to unveil these, the real core of the truth. And in these days right now, there is this upbringing of energy for us to really look at our life, to look at the choices and the decisions that we have made, maybe in years, maybe in the past weeks or months. Is this the life we want to live? And this, us being at home and actually the whole, it's like a complete shutdown, right? Our life, the way we know it, has shut down. And we have been magically sequestered now at home to sit with exactly these questions. And you have a choice. The choice is that you can try and find the answers, or you can push this away, which a lot of people do, yeah? A lot of people will push this away. We will try to find new distractions at home. We will watch Netflix all day. We will eat chips because we want to feel good in this time of uncertainty. We might go back to habits that are really not serving us. But if we had a practice that helped us to stay grounded and present within us, then we are not dependent on what is going on around us, or not as much. And you can show up with the strength and the confidence and the energy to do what needs to be done. You might take care of your family right now, or your parents, or it doesn't matter what we have to do in this moment in time to show up for others. This strength comes from you practicing self-care. And yoga, a daily yoga home practice, is nothing else but caring for yourself. Yeah? So I'm here to inspire you, to encourage you, and to teach you, because I understand this answer that comes, I don't know what to do. Yes, this is a very true answer. Yoga can be extremely confusing. And all the classes, the random classes that we are now exposed to, don't make it less confusing. It makes it more confusing. And we pick and choose our yoga classes according to if we like that person who is doing it or not. But really, it's not about me. It is about the teaching. It is about me saying something that can touch you within yourself, so that creates that tiny little bit of turn that we need to make different choices. Yeah? So for me, yoga is not about chasing the split or the wheels or chasing postures. The postures have a very, very specific task. And this task is to discipline our body. And with disciplining our body, I am able to discipline my mind, and I am able to discipline my emotions. And that's what is needed in times like these, when we are feeling the fear and the anxiety, when we're feeling the negative energy around us, when we're feeling flustered, and when it feels like as if the ground has opened up and we have no ground beneath our feet anymore. If your yoga practice gives you a training that trains you to be in this place of uncertainty, then even today we can sit with it, we can transform that energy, and you are capable and empowered to do this for yourself. And it's not me doing this for you, it is you doing this for yourself. And that is the biggest reason why I am a really big advocate for a home yoga practice and learning this. Yeah? So think about it. If it's not chasing the postures, if it is not about going into a deeper pigeon or a better down dog or holding the plank longer, what is it about? It is about taking these exercises and letting them teach you something about yourself. I need to learn who I am with this. One of the reasons why people also don't practice at home is because it hurts, because your body hurts. Yeah? There is nagging pain that we can feel, and we don't know what to do then. But imagine you could take that pain and you would know, here is where I can push through, and here is where I can't push through. Yeah? In regular yoga classes, when we are in a group, there is the instruction, always get out of pain. I do this too. You have heard me say this in my videos here as well. But the only reason why we say this is because I don't know you. The thing is that always backing off is also not the right path. And certainly not for many of you who might need to push through sometimes, who might need to do exactly those exercises that you are running away from. There are many asanas on the mat that we don't like, right? I like to call them, those are my favorite exercises with a capital F. Of course, ironic, right? I don't like them. I want to run away from them. They don't make me feel good. But here's the deal. This is the place where you grow the most. Us practicing only in the department of where things make us feel good is not going to give us a holistic training that can prepare us for something else, that can actually discipline our mind, our body. Are you the one who always backs off immediately when something doesn't feel, do you know the difference between something that is painful and something that is just uncomfortable? Yeah? Can you sit in discomfort and be with it for a moment? That is also yoga. Yeah, there's so much, and I understand the confusion of it, to say, but when shall I do this and when shall I do this? Well, the answer is very clear. You need to start practicing yoga where you learn about yourself, and where you maybe have somebody who can help you modify things and accompany you for a while, so that there is a guidance of knowing this is right for me and this isn't. There is feedback, and in this feedback you can grow. Yeah? And when you grow, you want to get on your mat every single day. The biggest reason why most of us don't have a yoga practice at home is because we don't see the value in it. We don't feel the immediate results of what this practice does. And we give this responsibility to somebody else, to a teacher, to somebody who guides us. Yeah, that's the biggest reason. But imagine there is a way how to learn this. And this is what I teach all my yoginis. So my intention, even with these classes here, is to help you to fly on your own. Yeah, yesterday, I think I used the metaphor of teaching you how to fish and not giving you a fish to eat. And I think that is so worth it, because you get empowered to work on yourself. Yeah, I believe that at a certain age, maybe 40 and upward, we start to live with a different awareness. And I see people who come to me whose bodies are changing and they don't feel good anymore in their bodies, whose posture is changing, who don't like to look in the mirror anymore, and who don't feel good about themselves. And I think very often these people go to yoga class and they look around and they don't feel better. They look at others and say, why can they do it and I can't? And so all of this mixture creates constantly this, I can't do this, and I don't know how to do it, and good for them, they can do it, but I can't. And I want to change this. So the yoga classes that I have been teaching in the past 2 weeks, I think now, were geared towards relaxation, were geared towards learning how to let go. But yoga can also be very activating, very invigorating. Yoga can be a full-blown body workout that makes us sweat and that creates energy just like other workouts can. Yeah? You need to know what you need. You need to know when you need what, and then you pick and choose your personal yoga practice. Yeah? So I hope this inspires you to start thinking about it. The first step for change is for you to start changing your perspective, looking at things from a little bit different angle. I've been doing this for so long and it hasn't worked. So let's see what I can do to actually look at it maybe from a different angle. That's your first step. And if I can help you to change your perspective, to make you look at things and ask yourself after this class, why am I not practicing? If you go to yoga classes, why aren't you practicing at home, and why do you always need somebody? Just let this question marinate a little bit, and I think you will get to a lot of truth within you that we usually don't like to go to, because truth is sometimes painful. Truth is triggering our ego. Truth is scary. But if your yoga practice gets you to these places of truth, we are so much more prepared to be in peace and in calm and to be clear-minded and our emotions in a place where we can see them, but we are able to deal with them. Because that's what everybody needs right now in this moment in time. Yeah? All right, I will keep teaching about this. Okay, so today we will start in standing position. Yes, I will guide you a little bit through a little bit of movement. It is about well-being. It is about noticing your body. It is about getting to know yourself and feeling, wow, this is easy, this is hard. Why is it hard? How can I work with myself? What do I need? What do I learn? What do these exercises teach me about myself? Yeah? Okay, so let's start in standing position, please. Have a little bit of space around you. We will need our pillows again at the end of our class. All right, so since we have been sitting for a while, I want us to just come into a standing position and move our heels up and down. So I'm shifting my body weight from the right to the left side. So instead of just standing and lifting up the feet, I want us to lift up and lower the left heel, lift up and lower the right heel. Just very lightly, not, not intense, but just starting to move, left and right. Feel the balance between your left and right foot. See if you can also feel the balance in your body. Or if this already is very wobbly, it might be, yeah. The toes are spreading, that's okay, just notice that. Good. See if we can lengthen and become a little bit taller and start to breathe. Movement is always a part of our well-being. I think the interaction, the yin and yang between movement and stillness is exactly that, what we need to create a wholeness of well-being. Yeah? So we can't just be sitting or laying and be quiet and still and not move, but we also need movement. And is your yoga practice giving you this? Yeah, both of these parts. Okay, slowly open the legs a tiny little bit wider. Good. Bend the knees a tiny little bit and slowly fold forward. Let your head, shoulders and neck just hang. Dangle a little bit down. Feel if your spine can almost stretch out a bit. Feel your feet and how the legs are supporting this position. Good. And then slowly we move to the right side and to the left. And I want you to do this real softly. Just shift your body weight to the right and to the left. Good. And we're starting to breathe a little bit deeper. And if you like, you can extend the leg of the other side. So when I'm going to the right, I'm extending my left leg. And when I'm going to the left, I'm extending my right leg. And now see if you can stretch a bit further, wherever this is for you. Yeah, it's going to be different for each one of us. So slowly move a bit from side to side. Oh, and feel those parts in your body that feel like as if they're glued together. Yeah. Very often the tension and the tightness that we feel is because our tissue is not used to moving, yeah? And then slowly come back to center. Let your head one more time dangle your arms and your shoulders. Let it relax and roll up one vertebra at a time. Slowly roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. And open the shoulders. Good. Let your legs come a little bit closer together. So about hips width apart. Does everybody know where hips width is? So here are my hip bones. And if I draw a line through the knees, through the shins, kind of like to my second toe, that's where my hips are. If I go about a good foot width wider, that's shoulder width apart. Yeah, so it's good to know this. Where's my hips width and where is my shoulder width? You might want to do this in front of a mirror and actually see how wide are my shoulders and how wide are my hips, yeah? Because mine are completely different from yours. Okay, hips width apart. And what I want us to do is slightly bend the knees and bend from side to side. So we go to the right and the left side. Now, the knees are bent. I would love for you to have a little bit of awareness onto your core and your belly, yeah, because this is part of the muscular corset that actually supports the spine in movement as well as in posture. So keep the knees bent and really bend over the side of your waist and see if you can lengthen the fingertips all the way to the outside. Now notice, how far am I going and where does the stretch feel? Where can you feel the stretch? Can you feel it in your hip? Can you feel it in your side body? Can you feel it a little bit more almost in your rib cage? And can we then very slowly, without pushing too hard, can we see if we can lower a little bit deeper? Now here's one more thing. Please imagine that you had a wall in front and behind you. And we're not turning, we're not leaning forward, we're not leaning backward. We are exactly in this wall and we're bending sideways. This already is not as evident as it looks like when somebody is trained in doing this. Yeah, most of us, we will twist a tiny little bit. I want you to keep your shoulders and your hips completely stacked on top of each other. No twist at all. And then we bend the knees a little bit more and see if you can lower towards your calf muscle more. This should be a really, really nice stretch. The whole side body. Good. Bend the knees. Bend them some more. Good. And make sure that we're not lifting the hip out. So we're not doing this. Yeah. I know you think you're not doing it, but it's worth it. Maybe you have a mirror at home. So it's not the hips. The hips stay completely square. I'm bending in my side body. Yes. Last time. Good. And then slowly inhale, lift back up. Wonderful. Lift your arms. Interlace your hands behind your head. And slowly raise up the right elbow up to the sky. All the way up. And left elbow. Reach up. Oh. And I want you to feel how the whole side body, all the way down to your hip, expands. So there's an expansion all the way. Good. My hips are square. Knees are slightly bent. Oh, and I'm lifting up. Beautiful. And then slowly come back to center. Left arm comes to the back behind. Right hand to the outside of your elbow and start to stretch a little bit your right elbow. Good. And very slowly from here, we are bending over to the left side. Very slowly. Again, it's the same side bend in the side of my waist and I am bending. Yeah, get a little bit more of that stretch there. Deep breath. Oh. Ground your feet. Now see, can we breathe in this position and have enough stability that we can hold this? So see, I can still talk with you. I can hold it, but I'm breathing. And stretching. Last time. One more time. And slowly lift back up. Extend your arms upward. Lift your gaze. Reach up high, all the way. See if you can elongate and lengthen. Ground your feet and other arm. Left hand to the back of your neck. And then the right arm lifts up. And we are bending to the right side. Oh, very good. Slowly. Now, can you pay attention while you're stretching here a little bit to your core? Notice if the belly is just hanging, if we're just hanging out, if there's some sort of awareness that my hips and rib cage are contracted. They are pulling towards each other. Can we find that position while we stretch? That's the core. And this is the abdominal core. I call this the lower core center. And I have a whole teaching about it, because if you learn how to engage your core in your yoga practice and your movements will become so much better quality. Oh, and lift back up. Wow. Reach up high, open up. Good. One more without a break. Interlace the arms behind your back. Squeeze the shoulder blades together. Oh, see if you can really squeeze the shoulder blades, not up to the head, but down and away. Good. And from here, bend the knees and see if you can extend the arms behind you very lightly. Oh, wherever this is. It might be just here, yeah? For some of us, this is it. But this is way better than rounding your shoulders. So squeeze your shoulder blades together, and this might be it. It might not be able to lift up today, so don't worry about it. However, draw the chin in, squeeze your shoulder blades together, wherever this is, yeah? I don't even want to go as deep so that you don't think that this is what you need to be able to do. Good. Deep breath. And then slowly release the arms. Wonderful. And roll up one vertebra at a time. Roll up, roll up, roll up, roll up. Good. Roll the shoulder blades back. Let's do this one more time. Yeah. Here's another alternative. I want you to take your your belt, and place the belt behind you. So for everyone where this is really, really difficult, and I promise you, it is for a lot of people. Yeah. I see this all the time. This is not as easy because, when I do this, I have the flexibility. Everything is easy when you have the mobility and the strength to sustain a movement. Everything is easy then. It becomes whole because I have the flexibility and I have the strength to do this, yeah? But we need to see, I'm not able to do this right now in here. How can I get to a place? And I promise you, everything is trainable. So this is not that there are certain things that just in yoga you won't be able to do. Everything is trainable. The path is, how am I training? How am I progressing myself so that I get there? And some things might take years. And people don't want to put in the work, and they say, no, it's not important to me. But this movability, and to be able to have movability in your shoulder girdle, is so important for your daily life and for your posture and for the way how you feel in your body. And so yes, this is worth it to practice, but you can't get discouraged or judgmental already by saying, well, I can't do this right now. Yeah. So there are always progressions. There are always regressions. They're called regressions, which means we're using belts and bolsters and all kinds of things to help us to get in that position. So here we go. I would love for us to take the belt and place it behind us and actually see how wide do you have to be with your arms so that you can feel the squeeze in your shoulder blades. Yes. And see if you can lift up a little bit. Wonderful. Some of us might be able to come closer. Yeah. This is too much, but this is great. And for some of us, we need to be open here. So some of the reasons why our shoulders hurt, some of the reasons why we have inflammation in places like our elbows or knees, or is because the joints are not working properly with each other. Yeah. So all of these exercises can help us to create that awareness. So let's do this one more time. Bend the knees slightly, extend the arms, and see if you can hinge in your hip. Stick the bottom out to the back and extend the arms. And see if this is easier with the belt. It might already be. Fabulous. Yeah, it might already be. Good. And then slowly from here, lower the belt down. And we open the legs out to the side.
little bit wider than shoulder width apart. Remember, we've talked about this. And I want you to take your heels onto your blanket and come into a squatting position. Yeah, good. So let's see if, remember, I think I need to do a deep dive into the squat. I'm going to do this in a separate video, yeah? So see if you can be in this squatting position, which is actually a very, very natural position if we haven't unlearned that by years and years and years of sitting in chairs, yeah? So to be in a squatting position is actually for the body a position that is natural. Now, I know what you're thinking. Some of you are looking at this and saying, I can't do this. This is completely unnatural for me. This hurts. Can't go down. My knees hurt. My feet are not opening up. I can't feel any balance in here. My hips are hurting. I can't do this. Well, again, I understand and I hear you, and I've seen it many, many, many times in my life. I've taught students like you who are now thinking, I can't do this. But this is why we need to start somewhere where I can see you and help you to get from one place to the next, and from the next place to the next, and from the next place to the next. Because there is a path. We just need to walk that path. And sometimes we need help to do this. And this is very personal. All right, so from here, we slowly come onto our feet. I'm sorry, hands and legs. And come onto all fours. Wonderful. All right. Come onto your elbows, please. Very lightly. And stretch out the right leg. So curl the right toes under, very close to the other foot, the left foot in this case. And then extend the knee and press into your calf muscle. Yeah? This is a lovely calf muscle and ankle stretch. And I want you to see if you can push a little bit with your arms here. Lift the head up. Pull the navel slightly in. Keep activity between your rib cage and hip bone. Don't stick the bottom up. Don't let the rib cage flare, and don't let the belly hang. There is support. It's almost like a bridge that needs to be supported. Good. And other side. Deep breath. 1. Exhale. 2. Exhale. 3. And exhale. Wonderful. One more time. Other side. Right leg. Curl the toes under. Maybe spread them wide and press into the 2 heel points of your foot. Good. And then slowly from here, lift up that leg. Keep your hips square on that right side and the belly active, fully active. There's a corset right now that is holding my spine. And the left arm lengthens forward. See if you can hold this for one moment. Deep breath. Push yourself up high. Yeah, looks like nothing much, but creates a lot of muscular engagement in muscles that we usually don't use. And slowly release. Let the right foot turn over in a 90-degree angle behind you and turn the left foot behind you. Yeah, so we're coming from the square position, we're turning over to the left side into a 90-degree angle. And then I want you to stack your shoulders and your hips on top of each other. See if you can stack them all the way on top of each other. If you want to take a block or come a little bit higher, yeah, it depends on how long your arms and your legs are. You can certainly do this. Okay, so stack the hips. The bottom wants to lift up in the back. Don't let it. Bring the pubic bone forward and really shorten your core here. Yes. And then extend the right arm. And very lightly, see if you can stretch back just a bit, which means I am opening up into my chest. And at the same time, I'm creating length in my side body. Very lightly, not too far. Go wherever your body allows you to go. Open up, good. And slowly back to center. Wonderful. Okay, slowly turn the left leg in.
right leg in, and come into child's pose for just one moment. Deep breath. Inhale. Exhale. We lift back up onto our elbows. Left toes curl under. So right up here where the toes are touching each other. Don't lift the leg and then extend back, yeah? I want the left toes to stay really close to the right toes. And then extend the knee. Extending the knee means straightening the leg. Straightening the leg is not a good movement instruction. So extension, it extends the knee. Yes, square hips. All right, push yourself up high. Core is engaged. Left leg lifts up. Good. I am keeping my hips square, and I want you to really feel the glute here. Yeah, this is your glute, very big muscle group here, super important. Most of us don't have enough glutes, so that's what we want. And then right arm lengthens. And don't lift it up high. Maybe just the fingertips are on the ground, and then lift up a couple of inches. Good. And feel the strength from head to toe. There's a lot of stuff going on in your obliques, your arms and your legs and your core, upper core center, and release. Wonderful. Lower the left toes to the ground. We come onto our hands, turn the right leg over and the left heel onto the ground. So this is 90-degree angle. So one more time from here. Lift up the toes of the right foot, turn the leg over 90 degrees to the right, and then the left heel comes onto the ground. Good. So you see me from the back now. And what I'm doing is I'm taking my left hand and actually placing it onto my sacrum for just one moment. And I do this as a reminder of pushing my hips forward. So I want my pubic area and my hips to go forward. Yes, there it is, even more. Let's try this out. Find that position where you are in this beautiful deep, this is a fabulous stretch, yeah? But we feel this in the side body, we feel this in our core, and then when we start from here, lift up the arms. Now, don't just bring the arm back. This is not about bringing the arm back. This is about lifting the chest and the rib cage up very lightly. Don't go far. Inhale, and now see if you can breathe into that left rib cage side. Exhale. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. And the whole entire time, I am pressing my pelvis forward. I'm pressing it forward. Yes, my back is working. My core is working. And I get this amazing stretch all the way onto the outside of your left heel. If you don't, then this is simply a sign that your body hasn't learned to go into specific movements. And so gradually and slowly, we learn that, yeah? Don't worry about that. Okay, back into child's pose and relax your head onto your hands and arms. Beautiful. Deep breath. Feel your spine, feel your body. Notice now. Get the feedback that the body is telling you. Notice it. I feel already pretty warm. So all of this, what we did, was actually very warming, and I feel my joints and my muscles, everything is prepared to work a little bit further, yeah? Okay, so from here we slowly roll up. Again, one vertebra at a time. Last posture, a twist. And I love this. So we either need a blanket or a block. So if you have a block, that's fine, or a blanket. And what I want us to do is we sit with the right bottom onto the blanket and bend both knees in front of us. So, depending on, it's basically coming from this position into a side position. Yeah, so you're sitting on the side. Actually, if this is easy for you, you can use the blanket. If it is a little bit harder, the higher the block is, the better. It makes this movement a little bit better. Yeah? So this is where we want to sit. Now the knees will open up a tiny bit, and especially if you have a little bit muscles in your legs, they will open up. So that's normal. The feet in the back are actually beside each other. So my left foot and my right foot are beside each other. And I'm sitting upright here in this position. Yeah? Good. And from here, let me take my blanket. So find that position. We are going into a twist. So I want you to see if your hand, your right hand, can touch the ground behind you. Can touch it. If the arm is not long enough, you need to take a block and place the hand onto the block. Let me show you so that you can see it. All right, so here, yeah, my arm right now here is not long enough. I can bring it closer, but here it's not touching the ground, so I could take my block and bring the arm back. Yeah, and that's exactly what we will do now. We will twist to that right side. So here we go. Right arm to the back behind us. See if you can sit long with both sides of the waist. Most of us will want to shift our body weight a little bit to the right. That's what the body naturally does if we can't sit upright, if this is not strong enough to keep you upright. And that's okay for this moment, but what we're working towards is to sit as square in the side of our waist as possible. Yeah, this is why the higher you are on your block, the more you will be able to sit upright. Okay, right arm to the back, left arm lifts up. We want to create a beautiful long line in our side body. Notice if your belly is hanging. If yes, you know what to do. And then we take the left arm to the outside of the right knee. And we turn our shoulders and rib cage. Turn it, turn, good. And the head follows the movement, good. And then just like we did yesterday with our inhale, we back off a little bit, lengthen. With my exhale, I twist a bit deeper. Inhale and exhale. Now, why am I doing this? I want movability. I want mobility in my spine. And some of you will feel this even in the hips, because the spinal position that we are in here right now, in this twist, is deeply connected to our sacrum, lower back, and hips. And that's exactly what we're working on. If your spine is supple, and you are capable of moving, you will always feel better. Well-being comes through movement that feels with ease, and that's why we're practicing this. So one more time. Exhale. Bring attention to your abdominals one more time. They are the primary movers of this position, and slowly come back to center. Feel the center for just one moment. Good. And then other side. Super. Take your blanket or your block, whichever you like. Let your knees open up a little bit, but have your feet as parallel as we can. So we're not opening up the knee out to the side. We don't want to do this. We want to bring the feet to the back. Good. And remember again, the higher you sit, the more attainable this position becomes. Yeah, absolutely. Use 2 blocks, and then over time, slowly lower the block down, and you'll be able to see huge improvement. Yeah, if this is where we're starting today, in 3 to 6 months, you should be able to be on your blanket without the block. Yeah, but we need to know how to get there and think about it. Is that what we're really doing in our yoga classes? Are we starting somewhere and then progressively practicing these things so that they can significantly get better, so that half a year later or a year later you can look back and say, wow, my movements have become so much easier. I have less pain. My posture has improved. I know how to use my core. This is what will help you with your well-being. Yeah? All right. So one more time, other side. Left arm to the ground behind you. Sides of our waist long. Remember the head and the neck. Good. All these beautiful little details. If you can fall in love with this way of practicing, where you see this practice as honing a skill, where this becomes a training that you can look back on and feel, wow, I am getting better because I know what I'm doing, I know why I'm doing it, and I know how I am doing it. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. The breath at the end that in the beginning, our breath very often is not part of our yoga practice because there's so many details to think about. And that's okay. Yeah? I want you to think that this natural breathing in and out becomes so much easier, so much more with ease if you know what the body is doing. So I think it's okay to focus on the body in the beginning more and then just breathe in and out without knowing exactly how to enhance the posture with your breath. But once now, for example, after a couple of moments in there and you've found your position, then we can use our breath to enhance the asana, the posture, the movement, the exercise. And remember, I'm not doing this so I can sit in this way. I am doing this because this helps me to have movements that feel good when I am walking with my dog, when I'm running, when I am kayaking, when I'm biking, when I'm invited somewhere and have to sit for a while and my posture can sustain my daily movements. I can work in my home. I can do whatever I need to do without pain and with enough muscles and mobility in my body. That's why I do this. That's why we practice yoga. At least if that is your intention. Good. Let's come back into our neutral position for just one moment. Breathe. You might feel your side body. You might feel your back, your spine, your rib cage. Good. Yeah? All right. Normally I would do this another time. I'm a big fan of practicing everything at least twice, maybe 3 times, because very often if we just do it once, right now your brain has gotten a little bit the hang of it, of what we're doing, and then it would be good to repeat it one more time and one more time. This is why in my classes, in a full 60-minute or an hour and a half yoga class, we do maybe 5 exercises because we go deep into the effectiveness and efficiency and the know-how of what we're doing. Yeah? So then your practice will progress a lot better. All right. So last part of our class, Shavasana. And the last couple of classes I have used the pillows, and I think this is a really, really wonderful way for at home to create well-being in this restful position. And we're going to do this one more time today. So if you have a bolster, I want to quickly show you one more time. If you have a bolster and a block, I want you to place the bolster onto the block. And so we have a little bit of a slide up here. And then we lay with our sacrum all the way close to the bolster and lay over the bolster. And extend the legs and have the bolster hold us in this beautiful supported position where our chest and our rib cage is open. This is the opposite of the hunching and crunching that we sit in our sofas and couches, and most of us are sitting like this at dinner too. Yeah, this compressive, where the lungs and where our whole spine doesn't have the natural curve anymore. We are compressed, and we all are. And I won't get tired talking about it. It's this hunching and crunching position that creates a lot of the dis-well-being that we have in our body. This is the opposite. So as much as you can come into that position, this position alone could be a yoga practice for the day. And it could be exactly that, what you need. Yeah? And over time, your body will start to feel a difference and will start to remember, hey, I can go into a different position than constantly feeling very comfortable here. Yeah? So either bolster. A lot of people don't have bolsters at home, so this is why it's wonderful if you have 2 or 3 pillows, super easy and actually feels really, really good. If you had pillows that are a little bit denser, yeah, remember, because we will put body weight on it. So what we want is 2 pillows on top of each other and then 1 pillow in front. Yeah, so that's actually really important for your lower back. I have brought my eye pillow today again. So this is called an eye pillow, and you could just put a towel or something over your eyes. But to have this over your eyes gives a little bit of cooling darkness that can allow you to relax a little bit more. Try this out. Yeah, it's really worth it. A very, very important part of relaxing. It makes a huge difference. Yeah, try this out. These are eye pillows that you can buy. They are filled with lavender or very light seeds, or sometimes you can make this yourself. You could, if you know how to sew, you could create this little rectangular pocket and fill it with rice. Yeah, it does the same thing. Okay, so I'm going to move this here. Prepare your position and let's go into our last relaxation, into our shavasana for the day. And then we go back and do what we need to do. So lower back, sacrum, all the way close to that lower pillow. And we lay over it. Try and see for next time if you can find, actually 3 pillows are ideal. I just invented that because I wanted to have something for people who don't have bolsters. So 3 pillows, and maybe rectangular or square, and then pull them towards you, and 1 pillow in front. And this feels like heaven because your head is still elongated, but it is laying flat, parallel to the ceiling. That's exactly what we want. So we don't want the head to fall back. If the head is falling back, you need something, maybe another blanket here, to lift up the head. Yeah, this is good too. Do not let it hang back and crunch, and also don't let the head look forward. So if your pillow is pushing the head forward, that's also not what we want. We want the head to be parallel to the ceiling. Yeah. All right. Open your hair, people. If you have long hair and always have to pull it up, open it in shavasana. I'm a big fan of this because I believe it just really feels differently on our head as well. All right. Eye pillow over your eyes. Let your legs open and relax. Let the feet roll wherever they roll. Notice before you completely relax down that the legs and the arms are in an angle equal to the left and right side, where your hands and feet can be totally relaxed. And if you have to take a little bit time to find that position, practice that for next time. Yeah, get those things ready, so that when you practice, you know what you're doing and you have this already set up. Yeah, arms open up, Let your shoulders sink and hang. This should really feel good. Close your eyes and we come into our last moment of rest. Take a deep breath in. And exhale out through your lips for just a few times, maybe 2, 3 full deep exhale through your mouth, through the lips. Soften your face. If you have a towel over your eyes or an eye pillow, feel the light heaviness and the darkness that helps us to actually really focus inward for a moment. We let go of the weight, the physical weight of our body. We let go of the things that are weighing heavy on our mind. How do we let go of the thoughts that are creating the scenarios of what will be or won't be? How can I let go and stay present with what is in this moment in time? You might feel that you can't let go. You might feel that your mind is so strong and it keeps coming up with thoughts, and these thoughts create fear and feeling of powerlessness. This feeling of uncertainty creates a disbalance where we don't feel in control, and when we don't feel in control, we feel disbalanced, and this disbalance can feel really scary. But in this moment in time, all is well. I am allowed to feel scared. I'm okay to be with whatever is in this moment in time, whatever emotions are there. I'm okay to be with them for a moment. I can look at this fear, I can look at it, I can feel it. And I'm allowed to feel these things. There's nothing wrong with me, there's no weakness, there is nothing to be ashamed. I accept where I am in this moment in time. Imagine we hug ourselves. How would it feel if we can extend that care and strength and that love that most of us easily have for others? How would it be if we can hug ourselves right now in here and hold on for a moment where we can feel tired, where it's okay to not have an answer, where we can lean on ourselves in this hug. And exhale. And be okay with what is in this moment in time. Can you release into this hug? Can you feel how good it feels to not have to hold up something? Can you feel how when we stop the fight for a moment, this constant fight that many of us are part of, when we stop that fight just for a moment, how energy can come back, how we can restore, and how that pause is all that some of us need to be able to keep going on. So in this release, where there's nothing to fight, nothing to hold up, where there's nothing to do, I want you to take one moment mentally and think back about a time that was hard in your life. I know in my heart that all of us have gone through challenges and difficult times in our life before. And I want you to go back to that time and feel that same feeling that some of you might feel right now. The fear, the disbalance of not knowing how we're going to get through this. The muddiness of not seeing a path out. And then if you keep moving forward in your life, you see how somehow we went through. Somehow we came through. Somehow there was this tunnel that ended. It just did. At a certain point there was a light and we could keep walking and we could see that our life changed and restored. We might have taken some lessons with us. Some of us got bruised or hurt. But we healed from those bruises and cuts. Our bodies healed. Our heart healed. And then a different time in our life started. A time of rebuilding. A time of a change in path. Our lessons have created something that led to different choices, maybe to different habits. And we grew. We grew past the time that felt so dire that we didn't know how to get through. So in this moment in time, if you feel the anxiety, if you feel the panic coming up, if you have difficulty sleeping and finding your balance and rest, and if you notice that your mind is constantly running like crazy around the future and what will be, if you feel that, I want you to do this exercise of visualizing the time where you pushed through. And connect to this feeling that we have done it before and we can do it again. Yes, it might take some time. Yes, it will take work. But are we really scared of that? Are we scared of the time? Are we scared of the work that it will take to rebuild? No. We have done it before and we will do it again. So slowly and gradually, start to shift your awareness again. From your body into time and place right now in here. Into the day that you're practicing this. And take all of this that we just now created, that we have found within us, that we have trained ourselves. You see the power of our personal practice giving us something that we need. Take that into your day with you, into your night, and maybe tomorrow again, until we are able to do this for ourselves. So slowly stretch out and awaken your body. I like to stretch my arms and legs. This always feels good. Because that's the opposite of this shrinking and contracted and tense feeling that we have when we are feeling disaligned with ourselves. So let your eye pillow first come off your eyes, and oh, what a difference. Notice the difference between light and dark. With your eyes closed, feel the light. You can even see it, you can sense it, notice it all around us. This is the light that surrounds us. Wow. Normally we're not even aware of it. We can't feel the light, but now I think all of you can feel it with me. And then slowly bend your knees one by one. And then we roll over the right side, and stay on your pillows for another breath or two. Maybe open your eyes and linger on, fully aware. And then we lift up over our side into our last seated position. Again, it doesn't have to be cross-legged position, yeah? We place our palms to the center of our heart. We end our class with gratitude for this practice, for the time that you took to take care of yourself. We end this class with truth. Maybe after class, it is okay to be honest. I think we have quietened our ego down enough so that it's okay to feel what is and to get to a place of truth within you. This is a beautiful place to be, because if you stop being scared of the truth, there is a path forward. And that is a different path than the illusionary path that a lot of us walk just because it's convenient and comfort and known. When we step into the unknown, we get to a place of truth and step with truth into the unknown. We can actually feel our own strength. You can feel it within you. And that's a really, really good place to dwell in, especially right now in here, in these days. The strength that all of us need is not found on the outside. It is found right here on the inside. You have that strength within you. I have it. You have it. But it's muddled up. It is covered up. It is hidden. And some of us have not practiced to tap into that strength in a long time. So it's time. Because this is the only path forward for all of us. With strength and joy and hope, I will see you next class. Namaste.